Hi, I'm Sean. I've got a small group base for you. It's built primarily for online defense, but it'll work really well on offlines too. We have 4 Satori disconnectables that are going to allow you to replace main TC if it gets broken. We have more than enough compound space to hold all the large furnaces that we could possibly want. 4 breach peaks at the bottom of our shell. 2 auto turrets watching the chutes that go up to the shooting floor. Along with our main loot area. Coming out of a very simple to build starter. Coming up onto our 4th floor, we've got respawns, locker kits, roof access, and our shooting floor and peak downs. This floor is pretty important, so I made sure that I kept these gaps in the roof. That way we can always defend from them if we do lose our shooting floor. Next, I'll show you how to build the base, but first, let me introduce you to today's sponsor, Rust Clash. Rust Clash has several unique game modes where you can open cases, do case battles, and upgrade your skins. Rust Clash also has both daily and weekly leaderboards with prizes for the biggest winners. Lastly, Rust Clash has Rain, where they give away over $20,000 a week. Thank you, Rust Clash, for sponsoring this video.
Hey, so I may or may not have gotten COVID in the middle of making the video, but I'm still going to show y'all how to build it. That's just why I sound like shit. So the starter is pretty simple. It's a generic 2x1 core, like any other that you've seen. After I get the 2x1 down, then we can start expanding out. We can worry about things like honeycomb, and also just building up in general. Depending on how you want to do it, you can either make this way up here, or you can just make it the front door. But if you want a slightly bigger offline cost, then you'll want to do it like this. I'm also going to build in like the final grade. Obviously you could HQ in whatever you want, but metal is actually just the highest I'm going to go. Alright, and there we go. In these we put loot rooms. And it's a good idea to replace these jump ups with furnaces since we are pretty limited on space for that. And on these sides here, we're able to just fully honeycomb. Same thing here. We're going onto the 3rd floor now. Just gonna keep building up the same way. So I come through here, jump up's gonna be here. This should be more loot space. If you find you don't need this, you can easily turn that into like a bedroom area if you really need. But we're gonna have one above here anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Then right here, this is going to be our peak down floor. So we're going to add single doors just like that. Then I have to build out like this. You actually don't have to do this. You can just put a frame here. But I'm going to do this because I probably wouldn't have doors for that. And then you're going to put a ladder hatch. And let me see how this works. So it's going to go here and here. Here you go. So this is where I put beds and lockers. There you go. So this is, once we honeycomb this. Yeah, once this is honeycomb, this is like the entire finished core. Alright, and then now for expanding off of the starter. It's pretty easy. All you have to do is add honeycomb. I turn on symmetry, that way we can go a little faster. So on this side here, you're adding another triangle. You're going 2 squares out, going back in triangles. Then you're done on this side. To do the external TC, we're gonna go 3 squares out, a moon, square, 3 triangles, and then right here is where we're gonna place the TC. Okay, I can't have one apparently, but that's okay. Normally I just do it behind a single door. You place it right here, it will let you have one, don't worry. Then you're gonna place 2 half walls like this, a frame here, a wall here, and you're all built up. Once you've got that, you can remove these triangles. But as soon as you do that, you're gonna wanna reconnect it using this. That's a MiniSatori disconnectable. It's also on these sides where you're gonna do this build out. And then now we have the top side angle. So for this one, it's really easy. You're doing this. You're gonna go 2 squares out and a triangle. And if you're ever in doubt, you can just follow the path back. And you're good. It's pretty easy. You're gonna wanna save this here, and you're gonna wanna connect it. You can use like a low wall or something if you'd rather. Oh, and this is gonna be a half wall. But I was saying you can put a low wall here if you want. I'm just gonna use a frame. And then it's on these sides where you're just gonna go 2 squares out. And then that same thing. Where we can get rid of these triangles. You'll place your TC in this room. And yeah. Now once in, after that, you're gonna finish this build out by adding these. And then you're all done. That's the entire footprint placed. To expand out, I normally like to get our furnaces done first. So to do our gatehouses, you're just gonna place windows on each side. And then a nice big barricade on top. You can place your vertical embrasures now too, if you have them. You don't need them. I'm just gonna put windows because it's the only thing I have right now. Okay, cool. Then the compound itself is really easy. You just kind of look towards the center. I normally say this, like with every base, if you want a good compound, line up the middle of the wall with the middle of the base. And then get it lined up however you want here. You want like an even distance from left side of the base, left wall, right side of the base to right wall. If you do that with every single wall, you'll have a really good circle. And there, so that's our entire compound. As soon as you have all your foundations placed, you're able to place all your large furnaces too. So you can just do that however many you want, however many you need, you can get it done. Now to expand from here, it's gonna be pretty easy. You're just gonna place, I should probably downgrade this too. A half wall and a window on all of your jump ups, or breach peaks, which we have quite a few of, right? And then on these parts right here, so it's gonna be frame, wall, and a doorway, just like this. Same thing here, door, or this. You're gonna want to eventually upgrade that to metal too. And yeah, the same thing everywhere else. Then on these sides here, you can do 1 or 2 doors. It's up to you. This is just gonna become our chute later on. You could honestly leave this stone if you want to. It is not that important to upgrade. It's pretty redundant honeycomb. Alright, there you go. So we can do our breach peaks now on these triangles. It's pretty simple. And then on these, I had a turret in the video. There's a few different ways you can actually do this. I like to upgrade them pretty early on, right? So what you can do is you can upgrade one of them to metal, and it'll give you room to place it. I will say, don't place it like this, because it won't actually shoot. You have to make sure you're placing it pretty exposed. It has to be out. This doesn't actually tank any rockets. It's just a quality of life thing. The turret is a nice place to have one. You can place it all the way out, and you just want to make sure that it's actually working and not getting blocked. Again, this is the chute, so you can put a ladder in here. Let's keep building up. So over these, I put a half wall. For the breach peaks, we put half walls. Then we floor over them, and we put half walls everywhere else, just like this. And then low walls. And this is the secret to the base. This is how the main shooting floor is gonna work. I'm gonna turn my B grade back to metal because I'm gonna be using metal for a while now. Now it would be really beneficial to metal this here, just the breach peaks. That way the frames go all the way up. It's gonna hold. Same for one or two of these. You'd honestly probably like get away with just doing the middle one. But something like that works really well. And then you're also gonna be putting frames here. And late game, whenever you get more materials, you can even add more frames. The more frames, the more stability you're gonna get. You don't need it, but it could help you in a raid, maybe. It's like really iffy, because they could rock it like right here, and then this would get splashed with it, and yeah. Alright, yeah, and then this is the entire shooting floor done. I go back to stone for this. Now right here, you can see that you can, sometimes you're able to get through this. I think maybe I can. Anyway, you want to make sure that you're putting a frame in here, at least one. That way you can't just easily fit through one or two frames if you want. I always put double doors on these because it's really, really nice to section up your shooting floor. It's gonna make it a lot harder to lose control. Same goes down there, that's why we have these. Now let's expand out a little bit more. Metal. Alright. We are almost done. Right here is where I put a vending machine for trades, and then we have a little turret spy right above it. More angles. And then the last thing is the windmill. So if you don't know how to do this, build your frames up as high as they'll go. 3, 4, 5, 6. It should be 6 frames up. And then in twig, while you're going up, you can give yourself a little bit of support. Do I have a windmill? Oh, thank God. You're gonna hold it like this, rotate it to where the bars look like an equal sign. You just want to get it lined up in the middle. It is really, really easy. This is not perfect placement at all what I'm doing right now. And you'll see that it'll work. If I just break the twig, it'll still stay. So it's going to save you mats. You can get this done pretty easily. I mean, you could have done this so long ago, because you remember we did this starter here. So you can literally just do your windmill whenever you want. You have compound turrets if you've got it like that. Another good thing to think of is putting barricades maybe around here and here. They're all optional. But yeah, other than that, that's the little base. So I hope you like it.